Hello again, everyone. Tonight we're going to talk about how to create a histogram. Histograms tend to be much easier to make if you've already created a frequency table, but if you haven't, that's totally okay. We can still make one it's pretty straightforward. What it's going to look like is pretty much like a bar graph. So on our left-hand side, though, we are going to have the frequency, okay? That's how many times we see those data points. So that means on your y-axis, you want to label that as your frequency, just like I have right here. And we'll notice here, because we're having to double up on our x-axis, we're going to need to do that on our y-axis as well. If you look at the x-axis, where we talk about the number of pets down here, we know that we have between 0 and 15 pets, but this graph does not allow us to go all the way up to 15 counting by ones. So what we did is we simply counted by 2. So we have 0 to 1, 2 to 3, 4 to 5, 6 to 7, and so on. So when we go to create our frequency table, that means that we're going to simply find the number of people who responded that they have either 0 or 1 pets. So if I go back up to my list and I count that up, then I've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so I'm going to find in my frequency table where 4 is vertically, and I'm going to shade that in for my box of between 0 and 1. All right. Now, for people who responded that they have between 2 and 3 pets, would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So now I'm going to go up halfway between 8 and 10 because that's where 9 is. And I'm going to shade that in all the way down for the whole box. Okay. Now, for students who responded that they have between 4 and 5 pets, that would be 1 and 2. My frequency is only 2, which is about to be expected. Between 6 and 7 is again 2, 1 and 2, 1 of each. And our frequency for 8 to 9 is 0, so I'll leave that blank. 10 to 11 is 1 right there. So I'll go halfway between 0 and 2. 12 to 13 is none. And 14 to 15 is 1. So we'll fill that in. And that is your histogram. So now what we're going to do is we're going to move on and we're going to look at how we can analyze the data by looking at this histogram. So the key with a data set like this is when you're looking at a histogram in particular, it can be difficult to figure out what the mean and the median are just based on the data that's in the table itself when you're not looking at an actual list of numbers. But what you can certainly figure out from looking at this table is we can very, very easily tell where our mode is, and that fell between 2 and 3. And that really helps us to understand where we expect most of our students to fall. Okay, if we added a new student to our class, we would probably anticipate that they would have either 2 or 3 pets in their household. And that's simply just from looking at the data responses that we got from our classmates. Okay, so we can record our mean. Remember, that was simply adding up all the data points and dividing by how many we have. When you add them up, you get 70, and you divide by 19 data points to get 3.68. That was our mean. Our median, when you put the numbers in order to find the middle number, you get 2. And the mode, when you put them in order, or sorry, not when you put them in order, but when you simply look at which number you see occurring the most, that is 2. And you can very easily see these data points reflected by looking at the histogram. Okay, if you go back and look at that histogram you'll see very clearly that we have quite a number of students who responded that they have between 2 and 3 pets. And so we expect that our measures of central tendency will fall right around there. So again, as far as drawing conclusions about what our classmates have pets-wise, we would say that we expect that students have 2 or 3 pets based on measures of central tendency, and from looking at that histogram, you can also tell that there is a wide range of responses or numbers of pets in our class. Okay, so now that I've walked you through how to create a histogram, I want you guys to go ahead and try on the back side of the sheet, see if you can create a histogram of your own.